Aloha, everyone. This is Thursday, November 6th, and this is Mel Raposo, and we are at the Coconut Bowl. Aloha, Charles.
Hello, hello, hello.
How's it hanging, bro? How's it hanging? What's up, Kihao? Aloha, and welcome to the Coconut Wireless. If I look a little different, it's because my camera went crazy today, so I'm using my webcam on my MacBook Pro. So, anyway, you guys can hear me okay?
Yep.
Been a long day. Been a long day. Uh, oh no.
Yep.
You you
COVID,
okay?
COVID. No, yeah. Yeah, just,
Nice shirts. Patsy can't even see my shirt. There it is. The coconut
yes.
wireless. Yeah.
Coconut wireless. Yeah,
Coconut.
right there.
Coconut. Remember Coconut Willie.
Yep.
Remember Coconut Willie who lived in a tree? He's plenty populi. It's easy to see.
Hmm.
People in
Yep.
Hawaii. I forget the rest. You guys gotta learn that song, Charlie. You gotta play that song on Wednesday night. You gotta play a song on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think, we're venturing into, it's sort of, we're caught in this time warp right now. We're playing a lot of the stuff we used to play. But I know as people come and watch us, they want to hear things differently, and I agree with them. But it's timing. When you get a group, I mean, a lot of us we kind of we play by ear, so we know that when somebody playing a certain key and they're doing a certain riff, we can fill in. And there's sometimes there's certain music that you just can't catch the rhythm to it, and you kind of like you trying to listen for the changes. So I think so to save ourselves from embarrassment, we should practice a little.
You guys are good. I mean, you guys are good. There are some groups that when you go, especially like to parties, or it sounds like they're practicing on the stage, and you can even if you're not a musician, you can tell where when somebody's off,
Yeah.
and it actually
Yep.
sounds really bad. But I don't hear that from you guys at all. I mean, you guys are like, it seems like you guys practice a lot. I don't think you guys practice at all, right?
No,
It's
but
just
when you have talented musicians like John Mahi, for instance, his idol has always been Dennis Pavao, and
he
he's played for
sings. He
years, but
sounds like Dennis. Yeah, he
yeah,
yeah.
his range, and then of course he's well known with Wale Rita and Los Guayanos. So in the Latin field, Kachi Kachi, unbeatable, unbeatable. Then you have Darren Kiyotsuka. I didn't know in his early years on the Big Island he had a group similar to groups like Asian Blend and Haula. They played some really, really good music. Then, of course, you got yours truly, who really just tinkered around. And I was really, you could say, inspired by a good friend, Mr. Wiskowi, who said, "Hey, go buy one bass." I says, "I don't know how to play bass." "That's right, you're going to learn. Just go buy one bass." And nobody told me that you should actually buy a 4 string bass. Well, me like a knucklehead, I went for the 5 and 6 string right from the get go. You know what I mean? And just got myself hooked up on studying online, just pulling stuff up on the internet and see what the theory behind it was. What is my role as a bass player? And then once all of that started, instead of starting Hawaiian like you should, I went straight for the juggler and started in R&B. So it was Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, you know, even Johnny Mathis, the older style, but a lot of the R&B, and that's all I hear. I hear the bottom end of everything. I don't hear the melodies and stuff. I always hear the bottom end. in my
Well, the bass adds so much. You can get two guys up there playing guitar, one guy guitar, ukulele, and they can sound really good. But the bass really adds to the music, to the sound.
mm,
We went to the KO 60th anniversary at Kauai Beach
hmm
Resort last week. Patsy and I and Makaha Sons were playing, and
yeah.
the guy's bass is the size of a ukulele.
He's
He get
playing a collar bass.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of bass, but I mean, had four strings, looked just like one uke, but
Chemo artist.
yeah, that was him. That was him. Those guys, it's crazy. Yeah, their harmony. He said they were in their ninth iteration of Makaha Sons. Every time, obviously they lost Skippy, they lost Brother Is, they lost people along the way. So every time they got to get
John
new
Coco
people. Coco
and Moon. Yeah.
and
And okay.
but if you close your eyes, you sound just like the original Makaha Sons. Those guys are just amazingly talented. Man. They're just
Yeah.
and good fun people. That one was more of a intimate kind of performance because they're good friends with Maybell Fujiuchi and all of that. So it was like a real Kani Kapila more than one concert. And then
Yeah.
afterwards, of course, they came down and talked story, and it was just fun night. And those guys are so good. They're so good, man. This legendary,
Yep.
legendary, and well recognized in many awards, many awards.
Sometimes you try to, even like for us, whatever music we play, there's a touch of we try to emulate the group that made it, but we try to add our own. I want to say DNA to it. We didn't create it, but just our own twist on it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you got to really listen to the music and use their foundation because that's where you're gonna get your riff from. Yeah. But we play in an environment that it is understandably you can get a lot of loud sounds in the back. So that's why I kind of like frown upon these groups that when you're playing in a bar setting, don't expect you're gonna have an audience who'll sit down and just listen to you guys. They came there for the ambiance, of course the music, but they came to talk story with their friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell the guys, hey, whatever we play, let's keep it down where they can hold a conversation. But should they get louder than us, let's not try to overdrive them because then it keeps them mounting on each other, and the next thing you know, you're just gonna have a yelling match. I said, no, we don't want that.
Yeah, you guys do a good job though with adjusting to the crowd because you guys play at Troy's every Wednesday night, and every Wednesday night you could have a different crowd. You could have a younger
Yeah,
crowd, you could have the older crowd, you could have the middle-aged crowd, and you guys do a really good job with playing for the crowd and changing up the music to match the crowd.
yeah. hmm
All right.
Oh
Future
yes.
Mayor Raposo and future Councilman Charlie. Oh, oh, it's so funny. I just talked to Charlie. Wait, was it the other night? We're at KBR. We was for that scoping meeting, and I asked Charlie. I asked Charlie, hey, you gonna run for council? And he said, no.
Well, I think tonight's gonna be the night I have a special announcement, but we'll think about it later on.
Hey, let's do a poll right now. Let's do a poll right now. We got a bunch of people on watching live from all over the state. Um, do you all think number one, question one, do you think Charlie should run for Kauai County Council? And number two, if Charlie ran for county council, would you support him? So the answer should be no, 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 yes, yes, no, yes, yes. Should Charlie run, and would you support him?
Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna start it off and say yes, yes. And Patsy just offered to bake for your campaign.
oh, thank you, Patsy.
Chris,
Thank you.
yes,
Well,
yes.
thanks, Chris.
Chris Wong. Marie says the love of my life has always played lead guitar and 12-string acoustic. He still composes to this day. Awesome, awesome.
Yes.
Chris would fly up, Charlie. Chris Wong would fly up from Oahu to to support you. Auntie Julie, yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, yes, yes. Auntie Julie has been very busy. Yep, yep. Becky,
yeah, yeah.
way
Becky
to go, way to
Morris.
go. Yes, see, Charlie, look at this. It's crazy.
Well, thank
How?
you. I'm honored. Yeah,
No,
I'm
you're
honored.
not. It's not honored. You're obligated now. You're obligated to run. You gotta run.
Well,
Kaimana,
let
wow, Kaimana is connected, man. Tell me, I tell you right now, man. Kaimana is. You get Kaimana to support you. It's almost automatic.
good man. Love that, brother.
Yeah, he loves
Love
you
it.
too. He said yes, yes with the shaka. All right, right. We
Y-
ramping them up right now. We ramping them up right now, guys. Share the video if you can hit the share thing, and let's get this thing viral so we can get Charlie elected to the Kauai County Council. That'd be classy. You know, if I was a mayor and you're the council member, we're gonna do a lot of good things, man. We're gonna do a lot of good things. And
Well,
then Charlie, and then after Kauai County Council, then Mayor Charlie, after Mel is Paul. Oh,
ooh, I mean, wow. Never thought of it, buddy. And I think, I would like to say, again, it's not a hidden secret of my how I feel about you, Mel, because I think we've seen, and I kind of misuse this word a lot, but I'm a firm believer of the word dynamics. There's a lot of differences that's happening in our nation today that's trickling down to the county levels. I can tell you with some sense of urgency right now, the state has its hands full, and I can see them kind of like alligator hands. Everything is close to their bodies. Nothing is reaching out and leaving a lot for the counties to do. And I think it will take someone with that very, very strong legislative mind to get us to the finish line. And I'm just going to say it, the only one that can, in my opinion, that can fit that bill, and who I know I'll trust, is you, brother. So
well, thank
there,
you,
I said
Charlie.
it.
Thank you, thank you. And again, we don't rehearse or script or whatever. This is appreciate that because of that, Charlie. It's straight from the heart, and we
Yep.
appreciate that. Chris is actually predicting that it's going to be governor proposal after Mel Palmer too. So, um,
Yeah. I'll be I'll be part of your I'll be part of your security detail. I'll take care of
yeah,
you, brother.
no, cannot because you're going to be elected. Look, Charlie going to announce tonight. I feel it right here, right now. We're going to force you to announce tonight. Look, Patsy even
Yeah.
threw you a little heart. Yeah. Look, Kaimana saying the same thing. Mayor after Mel. I did want to chat a little bit. A couple of things I like to talk about tonight because Auntie Julie is on. So, Auntie Julie and a bunch of the Koloa Poipu residents are working very hard and standing up against the development or the road improvements on there that, you know, oh, look, some more. Tammy Miyazaki Pu'u, another potential candidate, by the way, for Kauai County Council in the next
Oh
election.
yes, I
Yeah,
definitely will support her.
yeah, we're talking, and so yeah, when she's ready, we're gonna have her come on and share her ideas on our show. But anyway, you know, we all support road safety and community safety and all of that. But that whole Koloa project, the roundabouts and the sidewalks and bike routes and bike lanes, which I think nobody does. No one's going to say they don't support that, but the cultural character, the historical identity of Koloa town and the old neighborhoods of Koloa, I believe should be maintained and retained. And you can build sidewalks around the trees now. I mean, they're doing it on Rice Street right now. The new sidewalk they're building all the way down to the Willy Willy is going around the telephone poles, around the trees. And in Koloa, when they did the planning meetings, the community meetings for this project in Koloa down to Poipu, the community was very, very adamant about do not cut down the big trees. Save the trees because that is part of our character, part of our identity. And no, they waited like 12 or 13 years after all those meetings, and they started the construction, and they're chopping down the trees. A lot of the trees are being cut every day. So I just wanted to say,
Who has the last say? Who has the last say
it's the
about those?
administration. I mean, the way it works is the county goes out and they seek grants for these types of projects, and then they come to the county council, and they tell the county council, hey, we want permission to apply for this grant, and we're going
Mm-hmm.
to improve the traffic and safety in the Koloa Poipu area. But of course, at that moment, there is no plans. And then once the grant is awarded, it goes to the administration, and then they hire the consultants that do all the design. But that whole process includes the community. Unfortunately, this project, the communities were getting involved again over 12 years ago, and only recently the construction has started. So it's a shame, to be honest, because I think those trees. I think you can have both. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You can improve the safety of the roadways, and this is the banyan trees by Keokis, and some people don't like banyans, but again, that is part of the Koloa identity. And then there was
Well, can I?
another. Yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
I'll share. Being from Honolulu, and I know you can't tell by my size, but I used to be an avid walker. And if you're gonna walk around town, besides the character, it adds a health function that it will block out sunlight and give you rest on hot days. And so without it, and you have concrete sidewalk, you're actually talking about heat compounding on heat, and that's not a good mixture. I mean, you'll get people fainting, especially if they want to walk from lower Poipu up towards the top end by Suiokas and all that, right? If people decide to hike up, so I'm sad to hear. I thought that could be something that I don't know why someone with a plan would go through. I mean, it's sort of like a chalkboard, right? You erase, everything looks like when it's flat. But then when you start doing everything in 3D, you really got to take a look at, okay, you got sidewalks, you got trees, you got walls, you got curbing, you got all of that to contend with. What, however the plan was, what was the intention? Why? And I still can't imagine why would they want to take down the trees. Was any reason given?
Well, because they don't have the space, according to them, that they have to cut down the trees to.
No, but that tree, if you look at the base, right, you're talking a small section. So if you got 100 yards of walkway, wherever the tree is at, you'll probably take up a small section. And even if you did it cumulatively, lucky you'll take 10 yards of a full 100 yards. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, the community is fighting. Outdoor Circle is involved, and
Mm.
again, and I think I'll put Chris's comment back up because he talks about being a strong proponent for complete streets and accessibility, and I agree. I think we all do. It's just that
Yeah.
you can have both. If you look at Rice Street, when they spent the $17 million for that project on Rice Street, where it went from 3 lanes to two, if you look, the sidewalks all have trees in the middle of them. And that was the whole purpose, because you want to keep those trees there. You want to provide areas where people can get some shade. Um, it's in your hands, future Councilman Uncle Charlie. Service is a heavy burden, but who best and when and how?
Yep.
It's your time. Now is the time, and the time is now for Uncle Charlie. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah.
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 Oh my God. Holy crapola. Hey, by the way, because we're on this subject, I want to please, all of you, go to melformayor.org or melformayor.com. You guys can go and check out my website, and you can sign up for to be a supporter. You can also donate. Also, we have if you go up to events, there's some talk stories we're doing, but the Chili and Rice fundraiser, November 22nd, you can buy tickets right online. Very easy and convenient. And we'd love to have you guys join us. Charlie guys will be playing, by the way. They will be playing. They will be
The last
closing
out.
out the show. from about 6:15 or so till 7. It'll be at Gaylord's, the big luau hut, and yeah, 5 to 7. So again, hit the website melformayor.org or .com, whichever one. They all work, and you can also see my platform. What are my issues? And this just goes over homelessness, affordable housing. There's just so many issues that are in desperate need of working on, and that is what we're going to bring. So anyway, check it out, melformayor.org. Again, hit the events. When you go on, when you go on for the first time, a pop-up will pop up so that you can get straight to the fundraiser to buy tickets. But if not, just go to events. But you can go to testimonials, and you can see all of our the people that are supporting us: Jeanita, Tom Shigemoto, Josh Burton out on the west side, and Yvonne Hosaka. All of these people that have committed to our campaign. And if you want to do a testimonial, we'd be more than happy to get you on there as well. So thank you guys. melformayor.org. Please, please, please check it out. It's an
Yeah.
exciting campaign, by the way. It's gonna be an interesting campaign. Bernard and I, friends, and it's like vying for the starting position on the football team. That's kind of how I look at
Well,
it.
well, again, things have changed. I mean, things have changed to the point now where you got to really put your heads together because, like I said, so much is happening within government now, and one of the big things that I've been constantly hearing for the island is how do we keep our kikis here in these islands? One of it is jobs, two is housing, and three is not trying to price ourselves out of wanting to live here, really. And so, if you look at it, I think we spoke about it the last time. You would actually need some type of income driven mechanism to get you at least $40 an hour to make it as things going now. And I mean, when you're talking about minimum wage, I said that's only an appetizer. It doesn't complete the full meal. So that's why I can see a lot of people working 2, 3 jobs. I see that, but that's not for everyone. Because I think
Yeah,
people want some sense of normalcy. One job should be enough, but it's a
yeah.
tough nut to
Unfortunately, I
crack.
was just watching the
Yeah.
news this morning, and they had a business report, and they were showing the median cost of a house in Hilo was 300,000. Kauai Lihui was 1.3 million. And I was in Hilo last week. I went to
Hmm.
spend the day visiting the HPM, HPM, the building materials people. I spent the day with the president, and we toured all the facilities. And they are capable of putting out homes at the price range of about 250 to $260 a square foot. So a basic 1,000 square foot home, 250,000. And as opposed to Kauai, where right now it's about $500 or $600 a square foot, and in some cases even higher. You know, but anyway, it is possible, Charlie. And my plan is to work with these companies that can put these homes together. They say, well, it's not a container home, it's not a mini home, it's prefab because they build the trusses, they build the walls, they pack everything up in a container on a flatbed, and they drive them down, and the contractor can put them up very quickly. They can frame a house in a day. But the price is, I went in a couple of those model homes, and they come complete with the appliances. And we're talking about, that's why in Hilo the median price is so low. So that's what we got to pursue. I mean, that's what we have to pursue. And the that gap group, that people that you're talking about, Charlie, the people that are working, the nurses, the teachers, the police officers, those are the ones that right now are being left out, and there is no way they can afford. Let's see what Brother
Hey,
Craig said.
what's while we read this, what's
Thank you,
your
Chris.
feeling
Thank you
of
very much, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
thank you. What's your feeling about the 3D homes that you see some are being built, with that with cement, and it's computerized, and it makes the walls, and I mean you can make the foundation, and the foundation is one thing, but putting up the walls, it can be done in a day and a half to 2 days, lickety split.
Yeah, I mean, I think all options got to be open. Some
Yeah.
people like wood, some people like concrete. Um, it comes down to a preference, right? But at the end of the day, we got to build inventory, and we got to build it at a price point that our local families can afford. Otherwise, they are not going to stay. They cannot stay, or they're piling up in homes, and that is what I think we need to do more of. We as a county, there's a lot of systemic issues that has to be fixed and has to be changed on our island. I mean, down to the way we budget. I mean, the how we prioritize capital improvement projects, so that only the projects that we know we are going to complete gets funded. Otherwise, you have all these unused funds that sits in these accounts, these capital improvement projects that aren't going to be built. I bring this up every year at the budget, and every year we get assured by the administration that no, it's on its way. We're waiting for this, or yes, that one's on schedule. That one's on schedule, and then when the following budget year comes up, um, the project is still there, uncompleted, and that is all of that has to change. The way we assess our properties has to change. I mean, right now there's a lot of improvements that can be done there as well. And whatever we can free up in the budget just goes back to the people, right?
Well, I think it starts with some may agree, some may disagree with me, but as you know, I take care of the overall airport police and security at the airports, right? What makes this airport different from the others is, do you know that payroll and everyone's individual paycheck, the person that oversees that is me. So I have rest when it comes to the end of the work week. I'm very restless because if I'm off in the calculations that I submit, it will affect a person's paycheck, and it's very hard to have that lay on you, because you don't want anyone to be inconvenienced because their check got shorted. You know what I'm saying? And I think if government, if the top level people operate under that premise that, hey, you're responsible for it, I think they would have a to me I think they have a different outlook on being. I mean, it's like I will go into the weekend. The way it's set up, my weekend should be free and clear, no matter what. But I work on the weekends. I'm checking I'm checking employees' times against the electronic timekeeping. I'm doing all of that to make sure that everything is working, that all cylinders are fired, and that everything is correct. Some of my counterparts on the other islands, they have a department that takes care of them. So the manager at the top, like myself, doesn't have to worry about that. They just see the final outcome. I, on the other hand, it's from the bottom up. And I'm glad that I got a really good support staff. And I think in every company that I've seen on this island, I'm sure they have a good, well rounded team. But when it comes to government, for some reason, oh, it's vacation. Oh, we're going to do this. And I know how you feel, brother. I know how you feel. I've seen your dedication, and as well as your frustration at times.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
for those of you like you, Charlie, and a few others that we we share, they know that this. I told this. I was at the HGA union in interview the other night, It was Tuesday night, and they asked me, why, what makes you think you're a better candidate over your opponent? And I said, because I've been, after this term, next year I'll have 18 years in a county council. I've worked under Mayor Baptiste, Mayor Cavallo, Mayor Asing, Mayor Gary Hugh, there was interim mayors in between, and Mayor Kawakami. And I asked the board, the political action committee, I said, have you noticed any changes? Have you noticed any changes from 20 years ago with all these mayors? No, we haven't. Everybody has just basically took the hand off and continued the same practices that we have, and then those practices are obsolete now. The question is, who has the courage to make that change? Who has the courage to stand up and say, no, we're going to do it differently? And I think that's what sets me apart from my opponent. That's what it is, and I am not afraid to make the change. I am not afraid to change or try something new. Um, Real quick, Marie, does Kauai have enough doctors? No, we don't. I think nationwide we have a shortage. But I will say this: I had the opportunity to meet with the president and CEO of Wilcox Hospital, Jen Chahanovich, and very exciting things coming to Kauai. Residency programs from the students over at University of Hawaii Medical School will be doing their residency here on Kauai, and it's going to be awesome. They are doing everything they can to increase the numbers, but again, the cost of living here is so high. And yes, doctors make a lot of money, but doctors want to keep their money too and not give it all away to housing and everything else. So, yes, there's always a shortage. I mean, if you live on Kauai, you know that you got to get used to changing, especially specialists like urologists or neurologists and all of these, because they come and they go, and you got to keep getting adjusted to new doctors. Jimmy Trujillo, what's up, Mr. T? We need to pressure the state to house more Hawaiians on state lands. Holy moly. That's a loaded one, bro. You are absolutely 100% correct. Uncle Charlie going from taking care of hardworking airport workers to all workers within the garden now. Let's go. That's your campaign manager right there. DHHL has failed in serving its mission. Um, Ed, my good friend Ed, with doctors, etc. Again, it's housing. Absolutely correct. Um, Robinsons are pushing for a resort in Panama. I think she means Pacala. The meeting on November 10th will be a discussion about turning the land from resort back to agriculture. We all need to say that we support this change and want the land designated back. Oops, hold on. Back to agriculture use. Please send in testimony against Pacala's resort. Show up on November 10th. That is Megan. Thank you for posting that. That is the resort property out there on Robinson land. So that is going through the planning commission as we speak. And you can learn more by going to, I think, the county website. Check out the planning department, and you can check out their agenda, and the documents are in there. Insurance companies need to provide air transportation to Oahu to see specialists. My insurance company, HMSA, if I get a referral, they'll pay me. They will pay my flight over. It's a hassle because before you could just get the doctor sign your paper, and then you make your reservation, and they send you like $100 after you showed it you went. Now it's they book it for you. This is HMSA. I cannot speak for the other ones. Um, so yeah, that is there depending on your medical. Hi Mel and Charlie, been a while since I logged in. Edwin, developers buying up land on Hanamalu and Pacala to build vacation rentals and second homes. Too many broken promises. One of the things we often get the county council often gets criticized for letting people buy up land, and I think it's just not something that we can stop. I mean, we live in a country where you have the freedom to move and buy land that you want, and I have been trying to get our state to pass a law that would prohibit foreign nationals from buying agricultural lands, and trying to keep that in our local hands. But that's a question or a demand that you need to chat with your state legislature and your state delegation, because it is what it is. Pacala was prelim approved 20 years ago. Okay. Um, like cocoa palms, things have changed in the past 20 years. That again, that is a decision that is, in my opinion, should be left up to the community that is there, because that's who's going to be impacted. I am not very familiar with the Pacala deal. I haven't seen it. So we will wait to see how the planning commission. So what happens? It goes through the planning commission, and the planning commission will do all their public hearings and their reviews, and then they'll come up with a recommendation that'll eventually get to the county council, and then we will do the public meetings and we will do the reviews, and then ultimate decision is with the county council. But right now it is at the planning department. Chris, statewide, you choke problems and chronic issues. Ground level solutions are brought forth by good people serving. Systemic issues are uprooted by fresh ideas guided by heart. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think the vast majority of decision makers, elected officials in the state, which I cannot say the same for Congress, but I will say this for our state and for definitely our county, in all the councils that I've served with. I mean, everyone's intention is a good one. We don't have any malicious discussions. I'm speaking for the county councils that I've served with. But everybody has a different opinion. Everybody has a different path that they would like to take to most of the time get to the same result, which is taking care of local people. So we got to get back to the days where and we do it well on a county council, somewhat on the state level. It's never done at Congress. People cannot talk to each other. That's what makes it rough. We get too much partisan politics, which is crazy. The county councils in our state is all nonpartisan races, so that makes it a lot easier and way more productive. But I mean, I think we all got to act like adults and have have discussions without attacking each other. I mean, I think that's kind of where we got to end up. That's kind of where we got to end up.
There's always, I'll say clear, there's always motives by some, who can bark the loudest, right? But at the end of the day, I'll give you a good example. Going to work every day, the old mill, right? As you approach in Lihue, before the county building on the right side, they tore down that bill. I don't know what the planned usage is, right? I can tell you right now, and I've seen many of the houseless individuals make its way back in. And of course, with that, if they get removed again, you have someone has to pay for the cleanup, right? Uh, look at what we're facing around the airports. We always have to go and enforce around the airfield. People setting up when they're not supposed to. What a lot of people don't know is that when we cleaned up the area, it's the taxpayers. We've had well over 400 abandoned vehicles,
Yeah.
and so
So
nobody knows about it, but it's hidden, but the job gets done. But then when things aren't done right, that's what you get. You get these pile up of trash, and who pays for it, right? Now I
hundreds of
get it. If
hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands of dollars, man. I'm telling
yeah.
you.
I mean, it's just it's sad. It's sad.
Aloha from
Oh,
Japan. Patty is in Japan. Damn.
yes.
You should have took us, Patty. You should have took Uncle Charlie and me, and we could do a live right there. Chris
Yeah.
only said that to nudge Uncle Charlie's announcement. It's coming soon. Let me tell you. We only got
Yep.
about 20 minutes left on the show, so we got about 19 minutes before Charlie drops the bomb. Uh, North Shore community watches our North Shore. I can tell you that is why you don't have encampments beyond Anini. Yeah, I think if you go to any major city and town, a lot of the homeless will congregate in the main cities and towns because that's where the services are. Uh,
Hmm.
and unless we as a county or we as a state will provide a location for these people to go to, they're just gonna bounce. They're just gonna bounce all over the place, and that is where one of my disagreements that I have with the current administration is that I believe we should have some safe zones. I believe we should have areas where these homeless people, not all homeless are bad. Some of them are. Some of them are they choose to be homeless, or they don't want to conform to our lifestyles here. But there's a lot of them that are genuinely, legitimately homeless. They have lost their jobs, or they have
Yeah.
lost their homes. Many of them are working, and they're living in their cars. And we, as a community, need to help them, and that will help. But that is just something that, again, people ask me why you want to be the mayor, because there's certain things that the council, even the council chair, myself, cannot do. We are not administrative. We're legislative. So we can put all the funding we want. We can do whatever we want in a budget, but it's the mayor that has the authority to make it happen. And I have hit that ceiling as a council chair. I can go no higher. And that is why I need to be in the mayor's office, so we can make these decisions and make the changes. And it's, yes, it's going to be controversial. Yes, it's going to be, some people are going to get upset. But at the end of the day, if we don't do things differently, if we don't
Mhm.
find solutions, then we are going to get the same results. That's the one thing I can assure you. If we don't change the way we do things, then we will get the same results. Let's see. Out of all the state counties, and having worked with them and multiple county administrators, I've always admired and respected Kauai's ability to work collaboratively, even if there's opposing ideas. The county government always move forward together. Chris, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to explain why that happens. And this is for all of those of you that think districting works. We had two charter amendments in the past that they wanted term limits and districting. Well, we got the term limits, but we never got the districting. And that is why we can work together on the Kauai County Council. Honolulu's divided, Maui's divided, Big Island is divided, the county councils, because they are districts. They each represent a district, and they each compete with their colleague for pieces of the pie. On Kauai, we don't have districts. We all operate at large, meaning we all are accountable to every voter on the entire island. So every project that comes up, every council member wants to help, because we share all the same constituents. So when Mayor Kimo Alameda asked me, he goes, Brother Mel, how, how you guys work so well together on Kauai? I tell him, because we don't have districts. We don't have districts. When Arrow wants to do a project, Felicia wants to do a project in whatever area, we judge that we don't have to worry about competing with that council member for money and from the budget, because we all serve that constituent. So that's the secret. So when
Mhm.
when districting comes up and you want to see a divided council, go ahead and support it. If you want to see the collaboration, that then we don't need districting on an island this small. Honolulu, you almost have to. Big Island, because of just the geography of the island, you probably need to, but not here on Kauai. Probably need. Raylene, you will go hire Mel as our next mayor. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Pono, Sukanoho. I agree. We are one island. Yes. And when we all think that way, then it works. It works. We have lunch together on Wednesdays. It's a kind of good stuff. We actually enjoy them. Mel, agree. 100% agree. I gotta come retire on Kauai, or you can come here, live for a year, vote, and then run for council. You and Uncle Charlie can be on the council together. Oh boy, damn.
Yes.
Hey, again, I gotta put the plug. Yeah, I gotta put the plug, because melformayor.org. Check it out, guys. Sign up for my November 22nd. Gonna be good fun. Chili rice, tons of poo-poos. We're gonna get Uncle Charlie closing out the night with his little group, and we're going we're gonna have some fun. So make sure you guys come join us November 22nd.
Yes.
Hold on here. We got another question. I was wondering if the county would be able to change some of the rules for county parks, like they have with Maui, like no shopping carts in parks and different things. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, the Parks Department can do that through administrative rules, which requires public hearings but doesn't require legislative action, or we can do it by statute. I honestly um, prefer it being done through administrative rules, because to pass a law, you gotta introduce a bill, and it goes to a public hearing, and then it goes to a committee, and then it goes back to the full council, and it could take months to get a bill passed into law, versus an administrative rule. Um, Administrative rules, like I said, to change that, the Parks Department, the Parks Director, the administration can change it simply by doing. They got to do public hearings, but they can make the change. And the good thing about that is if let's say you make the change, and at some point you want to either repeal it or amend it or change it, you can simply do it that way versus going through the whole ordinance process again, which would take months. So, but yes, the answer to your question is yes, Randall. And I apologize. I was supposed to call you back, and my messages everybody gets buried on my messages, and I slowly try to catch up. It's been just a crazy week, Randall. I will call you tomorrow. I will call you tomorrow to talk about that.
Hey, Mel, let me ask you a question. So, what you just explained to our viewers here, is there a recipe book so the layperson can understand what you just explained in a nutshell? Because I'm pretty sure there's people out there that look, they say, the politicians, they take so long. What you just explained is a process that there's minimal time involved because you got to go through hearings and this and that, pass it, and then create a law for it and all of that. If if there was something that would be easily accessible and printed out, so when somebody wants to read over a weekend or over the next day off they have, they can actually see what the process entails. Then they'll have a better understanding. Because up until this point, I didn't know about that. What you just explained, really, within 30 to 40 seconds. He did a damn good job on it. So, do you folks have something like that that's available?
Well, Charlie, if I ask you how to rip a chord on your bass guitar, you would be able to explain it very easily,
Yeah.
with no effort, because you know exactly how to do it now.
Hmm.
And that's why I think people say, "Bro, you're so smart." I've been doing this a long time. I have been through enough scenarios where I kind of know how to do what's the best way to do things. But there is no recipe book, Charlie. That's the thing. When new council members come in, they're like, where do you learn these things? Well, it's kind of OJT. We have an amazing staff that teaches us, gets us on the right track. But yeah, but maybe that's a show in itself that we got to do. Maybe I'll ask Huike to
Hmm.
to do a show on that and just kind of cover maybe like a 3 or 4 part series with all the different parts about the legislative process. All right, here we go. I respectfully disagree about districts change from strong mayor and have the council select the county manager. Okay, now that's a different discussion, Jimmy, because we're talking about two different things now. The first thing is if you're talking about a county manager, that's completely different. That's where the council is elected by the people, and the council hires a county manager. That county manager it comes with experience in typically like a CEO experience, a business education, business degree, business experience. Right now, the way it works here, it's a popularity contest, right? Whoever they don't care about requirements. It's who's more popular gets voted in, and then you have a strong mayor system where the mayor is the administrator and the council is purely legislative. So in that system, I would agree with you that Kauai is probably ready now to start looking at a county manager system because of the complexities of our county, and just the way government is run nowadays. But that's a separate discussion versus districts. In a
Hmm.
strong mayor system, I think right now, and if anyone doubts that, just look at the other counties. Look at the other counties, and you'll see what happens when you end up with districts, because all of a sudden these council members get very possessive of their district, and they don't have to worry. Let's just say on Kauai, and let's say I was the guy that representing the Kauai district, and the Kauai district voters vote for me. I don't have to worry about the Lihui voters. I don't have to worry about the Hanalei voters. I don't have to worry about the Koloa Kekaha voters. All I gotta satisfy is Kauai. So I at that point, and you see it all the time on TV, how these guys are fighting with each other and other councils, because they don't need to. They only need to satisfy
Hmm.
their district voters. So it doesn't matter. They can talk smack about another district's representative or another district's problems, because they don't. Those people don't vote for you. So I think overall, I think the system that we have you know, we've works, and once you start tinkering with it, then you get some unintended consequences. Have three council members represent districts and four members at large, 2-year terms. Yeah, again, Jimmy, I don't know what we would accomplish that would be different from what we already have, but that's definitely something I think the Charter Review Commission can review. But again, it's really not broken. I don't, in my opinion, it's not broken, but that's just my opinion. But again, man, I always appreciate the discussion, Jimmy. Chair is the top vote getter of at large. Yeah, well, again, if you're talking county manager system, the council dictates. So the council becomes the executive branch as well. You don't have your mayor is just a ceremonial mayor, kind of like the chair of the council, but the council is the one that directs the county manager to get things done. And that's a lot of the
Yeah.
issues. We have a lot of people that move over here to Kauai from the mainland, and they come from a jurisdiction or a municipality that has a county manager or a city manager. So they are so used to calling up the council and saying, "Hey, I need you guys to do this. I need you guys to do that." And where they come from, the council can. The council can do it because they are the administrative or executive branch as well. But here, it's not that way. We are very it is very strict. The separation of power here, our charter prohibits council members in the legislative branch from directing the administration to do anything. I mean, we can ask, but anyway, let us go here. Let's get some more
Yep.
questions because we are running out of time. County manager is a job that would bring me out of retirement one day. Yes. Question for Charlie and Mel: How much will the anticipated flight cuts affect Hawaii Island? They say 10% flight cut, and Hawaii is listed as one of the states. Um, I mean, I think that it's going to affect everybody a lot. You're going to reduce flights, reduce
It's
seats. Two things: you're going to get less
yeah.
accessibility, and going to be expensive.
I mean, it's happening right now. As you know, the Canadian market kind of basically tanked, right? So right now, you'd be normally seeing more flights with individuals coming to Kauai, and Kauai being one of the busiest airports. I think in the last couple readouts of where Kauai ranked based on the per capita size of the island, we were the busiest airport. But I know that with the proposed cuts because of the government cutbacks that affects a lot of like the FAA and as well as TSA and all the other different agencies that service uh, the travel industry. Uh, yeah, I think it may be even more than that. I suspect. I don't know for sure, but I would have to suspect because if you think about what we have right now, we have Delta, we have United, we have American, we have Alaska Hawaiian, Canadian flights, we have WestJet. It looks like their schedules got pushed back. Normally they'll be starting to come to Kauai. That's got pushed back. Then you've got, I said United. So, and Southwest. So these direct flights. Now, if you've got hubs on the West Coast, right, that taking direct flights from Kauai to the West Coast, and they're cut back, that means that it's probably going to be limited on what's going to be flying direct to Kauai and back to the West Coast. So there's this domino effect that's going to take place, and it's no different than when you have a ground stop called at one of the airports due to some type of event, right? So therefore, all planes are down, nothing gets off the ground, that type of thing. So we can foresee something happening.
Sue says right now 6 inter-island flights were cut, and other Trans-Pacific or Trans-Pac cuts could impact the system.
Exactly,
Sue, we got to
exactly.
get you on the show. Sue, we got to get you on the show. We got to
Yes.
get you
So
on the
if you
show.
ask her if she's right now, if she's available next week, I think we should be touching on that subject so everyone can understand fully how that will impact Kauai.
Mhm.
So if you're available, text Mel or myself, please, if you're available next week. And Mel, you call a shot. One night you're available, brother.
Yeah, Sue is we're gonna do the hot wings challenge. That where we'll have her come on interview, and then we'll do it. We're gonna do it live though, and it'll be at Huike Studios, and then you and I, Charlie, will be interviewing her just like we're doing a regular podcast. But we will be eating chickens with hot sauce, um, and
Ooh.
it's fun. If you haven't seen that on YouTube, go check it out. Thank you, Sue. Sue just said will do, so she's gonna be coming on and doing the hot wings challenge with us. So thank you, Sue. Appreciate you. No, we are not. Yeah, I want to pose this one real quick because Chris makes a good point. Weak legislative representation on the council levels in districting will also put other districts at a disadvantage and spur politicking, and that's what we kind of want to avoid. But anyway, whoo! Hey, so much fun when you guys participate, folks. It's so much more
Yep.
fun
Yes.
when
Thank
you
you.
guys. No, Patsy, no, Sue is going to do the hot wings. Don't listen to her. She's saying no hot wings, but look at what Tammy. I will pay to see Sue do that. Sue, we're gonna so Sue Kano was
So
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 disappointed.
don't you worry. I'll have AMR standing by. So don't you.
I'll have milk. We'll get some milk for
Yeah,
you
we'll have
and
milk.
yeah, yeah, milk
We'll have
and
milk.
water and um no, really, honestly, so we want to do that, and we can do it at the Huike Studios, and we'll promote it, and maybe even do a pay per view, and we can raise the money for charity. Can we do that? Can we do that,
Yep.
Sue? What's up, Michael Cox? Pono, you gonna buy chili tickets that night? Hey, speaking of chili tickets, melformayor.org. Don't forget, guys. Oop, that's the ticket, but melformayor.org. Go check it out. Click on events and get to our chili fundraiser. You can buy tickets there. I know it's like the fourth time I said it, but we want all of you there. You'll get to hear my vision.
Mhm.
My vision. Jade wa ale ale batad. I will say this. Today we had a and actually I have a 8:15 Zoom meeting tonight, so I'm gonna get off real quick. But everybody knows the drug treatment center up at Malo Road up Kapaya. We had a presentation, and we had potential funders, foundations. We had a bunch of like 25 people in there, and we had the potential operator come in. And I'm sharing this because a lot of people don't even know that that place is open. We're running outpatient and intensive
Mhm.
outpatient. There's a lot of people that want to help. There's a lot of people that want to help, and I will tell you that we heard from some survivors of drug addiction, and the stories are real. And Jade is our interim executive director up at Kolui Kapono, which is the facility. And I just want to say mahalo, Jade, for all that you do, and we keeping our fingers crossed, and hopefully one of those gazillionaires that are living on Kauai and buying up our properties and enjoying their successes can find it in their heart to write a check and get our kids into treatment. So I just felt, I don't know why, I think the Holy Spirit made me say that. Anyway, Edwin, good night.
Yes.
Jade says powerful stories. Chris Wong says to Edwin, aloha. Jade says thank you. And Charles, any closing thoughts? Again, tonight was fun, man. I'm
Yes.
telling you right
Yes.
now, when you all engage and ask questions, or have debates with, like, I love with Jimmy Trujillo because he is so well versed in what's going on. I love having discussions with him and anybody really. Um, it makes it much more fun, and the time flies super fast. But anyway, Charles, any closing thoughts, my friend?
Well, I'd like to say thank you to everyone that joined us tonight. Thank you, Brother Mel. And you're absolutely right. Right, when you get to engage with your listeners, I think it has a meaningful depth of what we can share, what we are knowledgeable of, and what we can learn. And so tonight it was one of those things. I would like to leave a comment that for those out there who follow me on Facebook, and and sometimes I may seem very controversial, but all I am doing is I'm just asking how are certain things possible, because if there's an answer and it's the right thing, then by all means, I'm one of those that I can move in that direction. And so I don't want anybody to think that I am casting any kind of controversy to dismantle our loving environment and everything that we have going on in Kauai, because that's not what it's about. It's about Uncle Charlie getting engaged, and hopefully uh, it stimulates the reader to want to engage and maybe share something that I didn't know, because that old adage, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but with this old dog, I learned something every day. So with that said, I'd like to say have a great weekend to all of you that's watching us tonight, and thank you so much for thinking about us. And as I said before, I do have an exploratory group together that we're taking a look at some options, and uh, I will definitely. I know they're watching tonight, or they're gonna watch after this, and so they're gonna let me know what they think, because there's been a lot of positive, if you want to call it, online voting going on tonight. I mean, whoa,
Ah, now is the
unbeknownst
time,
to me.
and the time is now. Uncle Charlie for Kauai County Council. Holy crap.
Thank you,
Hey,
Chris.
I just get one more question to answer from our good friend, and then we will call it a night because I got to get on another call.
Okay.
Where it's right here. Oops. No, sorry. Here was the question, and Patsy answered it. If we got to supply my own mayonnaise for the chili, and Patsy said, we will have mail for sure. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
November 22nd, 5 to 7 o'clock, mailformayor.org. You can get your tickets there or shoot me a message. I will hand deliver those tickets to you and have some fun. And you'll see Uncle Charlie play music that night with
Yep.
his
We'll
gang.
have fun.
All right. You might even hear me sing. You might even hear me sing. Or you might not. Until next time, we love you guys. God bless. Aloha.